of Chicago Bulls Central. It's game day, the first game day of the season. The Chicago Bulls are taking on the Detroit Pistons at home in Chicago. Can the Bulls take care of business? Well, we're going to find out. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this. What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host here, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content, y'all. Man, hey, I don't know about y'all, but I am excited, y'all. This is Chicago Bulls basketball is always kind of a fresh start and everything, man. You always get excited about that. It's good to see the Bulls are back in business. Yeah, we are starting off the season a little hobbled, right? No Kobe White, no Zach Collins. These are important players in the grand scheme of things for the Chicago Bulls, but nonetheless, the Bulls next men up. You're gonna have to find a way to get out there and get it and play well. That's what you're gonna have to. That's what you're gonna have to go out there and do. And like the Bulls did in Forge last season, towards the end of that season, they're gonna have to do it as a team. That's just what this comes down to, is everything has to be done as a team. If you do it as a team, you're going to have a chance to win. Yeah, you're going to need players individually to step up. You know, of course, I've talked a lot about Modest Buzelis and him stepping up this year, especially with Kobe White being out and how good he looked in preseason. But you're still going to need to do it as a team. Everybody's going to have to stay connected and stay communicating. And this is the first time during a regular season we're going to get to see normal NBA minutes, the balance of the rotation, and see who really wants it, man. You know, and this is going to be a big game, and you know we'll see. The thing that I'm looking for in this game right away is I think it's going to be very telling how quickly they put Ausar Thompson on Modest Buzelis. I do think he's going to start off the game guarding Josh Giddey to kind of disrupt what the Bulls offense likes to do and things like that. I think that is going to be the first thing there. But shortly after that, what is it going to look like for Modest Buzelis, and what is it going to look like for Ausar Thompson to try to go over there? Because I do think they're going to try to get him over there. That's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong on that. Maybe I am wrong, but you know, I think that they are really just going to be trying. Eventually, they're going to try to get Ausar Thompson over there on Modest Buzelis, because I think he's going to have, you know, they're going to need to do that. Now, here's the thing that I'll say is that if for some reason they don't, right, they don't need to switch him on to Modest Buzelis. All right, cool. I mean, if that ends up being the case, great. Josh Giddey's going to have to keep up that pressure as well, and they're going to have to be locked in on that one. The other matchup that we're really looking at is Jalen Duren and Nikola Vucevic. Jalen Duren is strong as hell. Whatever you think about him, that motherfucker is strong. And Vooch doesn't really deal well with the physical centers. He just doesn't. Now, you know, he's had times where on ball, like against Jokic and Sabonis, he's actually a pretty good defender. But, you know, Jalen Duren is going to be something to watch out in this game. This is a guy that has the capability of getting 20 rebounds, you know, at times, and you want to look out for that. Like, this is a guy that he gets downhill. You can catch him on a pick and roll, and if he gets that momentum and first step on you on a pick and roll, he'll finish on you. That's a pause. That is a pause, and I apologize for that, but I did not do it on purpose. But so that you got to be ready and prepared for that one too. The Bulls have to be locked in today, and I know that's what I say a lot about this Bulls team, but it's true. You cannot come in. The Bulls do not have the flexibility to lollygag. They just don't. The Bulls got to be ready and prepared every single game, because if they're not, it's going to get ugly. They're going to get caught with their pants down, and we've seen it. Like, this is an improved basketball team, but the margin of error when you're losing players that are key parts of your rotation, like Zach Collins and Kobe White, that margin of error shrinks. It shrinks. And so the Bulls really got to be prepared in this one. And Billy Donovan has to be ready to go too. Billy has some time. Like, Billy, we've seen it. No matter how you view Billy Donovan, there's no doubt about it that he gets outcoached absolutely sometimes. Like, we've all seen it. And so you got to be prepared and ready for that. And if you're not, it could get real ugly for you real quick. And that's not what you want to get in. Oh, my bad. I didn't even put the banner up. Look at that. We being unprofessional. There goes the banner. My bad, y'all. But you got to be prepared. You got to be ready to go for that, because if not, you are going to get caught with your pants down. And against this Detroit Pistons team, that is one of the up-and-coming teams in the NBA, Cade Cunningham is a star. He's a star. And for that matter, I've talked a lot about the defensive aspect of the Chicago Bulls. Let's talk about, the offense of the Pistons. Like, Cade Cunningham is going to try to make Josh Giddey's night a living hell. Now, this is kind of why I've been an advocate in this game specifically, because of the injuries is starting Ayo and Isaac Okoro out there, because that gives you 2 point-of-attack defenders that even if they do try to switch, you can try to get one of those guys back on Cade. But Cade is about to try to cook Josh Giddey. Cade and Jalen Duren, those individual matchups could make and break this game. And I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. If Vooch it gets cooked by Jalen Duren, because Jalen Smith ain't going to do much either with him, right? If Josh Giddey is getting cooked by Cade Cunningham and Cade is out there making Josh Giddey look foolish on the defensive side of the ball, then it's going to be a long-ass night. And we know Josh Giddey isn't a great defender. But we have seen Josh Giddey operate decently in the form of team defense. But I do think you are probably going to try to hide Josh Giddey on Ausar Thompson, because he's probably the weakest offensive player in that starting lineup. So that may be what Billy Donovan tries to do in this game. But you got to be prepared and looking out for that, because it could turn ugly real quick. And if it turns ugly, I don't know if the Bulls are going to have enough to get themselves back in gear here. So the Bulls on the defensive side of the ball is hugely important today. Hugely important. The Bulls got to be locked in and prepared on that defensive side of the ball, because if they're not, it is going to be a long-ass night for the Bulls. Just whatever you want to say, period, point blank, whatever. It's going to be a long night for the Bulls if they ain't locked in and ready to go. So let's hope that they are, man. This is a team that I am very excited to see. This is a season where, Bulls fans should be excited at what this team could be this year, but take nothing for granted for this team. And that's just what it is being a Bulls fan. You can take nothing for granted with this team at all. Because the moment you do, shit goes left. So Billy Donovan and the coaching staff and their game plans, all that shit is important tonight. And we got to see if the Bulls are really going to bring it and really be about what they were talking about this offseason. You're talking about wanting to be tough. You're talking about wanting to add defense. You're talking about wanting to add some physicality. Well, go out there and do it. Because if you don't, it's going to be ugly. It is going to be ugly. So the Bulls really got to be prepared in this one. Hold on, y'all. Sorry. Got to change the title of this over on TikTok. It was still talking about the Wolves game. All right. So, yeah. But overall, let's see how you guys are feeling about this game. Let's see what we got in here. Eric says, let's fucking go, boys. Can't wait. Feel you there. Forward progress is all I ask for. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different types of looking for forward progress for sure. Here we go. Let's go, Bulls. Let's hope so. Why do you post more Bulls content rather than Bears? What are you talking about? I do the same daily content every day. We're a daily show over on Bears. So what are you talking about? The Bears has posts 7 days a week. And when there's games, we do pregame shows, we do live calls, we do postgame shows. So, yeah, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about there. What's up, Haize? Glad to have the Bulls basketball back. See Red, this is fucking from last year. Just changed the name. Oh, what's going on, brother? Glad to have you in here. Lego. Modest is about to feast. Listen, I get why you say that, but we can't take that for granted. They got Ausar Thompson on that team, and he could cause some absolute fits. Don't want to jinx it, but it looks good. Looks like the Bears, Sox, Cubs, and Blackhawks are showing us signs of going in the right direction. Can the same happen for the Bulls, please? It's been hell. Well, first of all, the Bulls have been better than most of those teams for the last 10 years. But, we'll see. We'll see. Let's hope so. Since there's no Collins, P. Will, Modest, and Okoro have to step up on the boards much more. Well, rebounding needs to be a team thing anyway, right? But let's not act like Zach Collins is out there getting a bunch of rebounds. Like he's not. He's a solid rebounder. I'm not saying he's trash, but we have Jalen Smith come in there now as the backup. We still got Vooch. Modest. I do want to see Modest be better as a rebounder this year. I think even in preseason he averaged 4.2 rebounds per game, if I'm not mistaken. So he still has areas to grow in that one, and we'll see. Real Mixo says, no Kobe White will be a struggle. Big key is to take away the three-point line from them. Don't sleep on their three-point shooters. Great point. Great point there. Finally, basketball is back. Looking forward to what we look like. Listen. I'll say this, Kel. I'm excited about the season. I've been one of the more optimistic Bulls fans for a while now in regards to what this team could be this season. But I do think this is that things could go left. And things like this, like getting the injury bug on your team is a real thing, right? The Bears are dealing a little bit with that. Is that they had some early injuries, and then now they just can't shake the injury bug. Even when they get back players healthy, you lose some other players, right? It's just that team rhythm that sometimes you see sometimes. And let's hope that doesn't happen for the Bulls and that, it's 6 games from Kobe, a month, which I think that a month means he's going to miss the first 12 games, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It's either 12 or 11 games that Zach Collins is going to miss. And let's hope they get cleared, at the early part of that trial, and we can get him back and just focus on what we need to do at that point. If they bring a defensive pressure game on, a big fact on that one. Sadly, it's unknown with the team, man. I love to think that, but Jerry's still in charge. Look, y'all got to stop blaming Jerry. Jerry has nothing to do with the Bulls day-to-day. Jerry has nothing. Jerry Reinsdorf is not the only owner the only mandate Jerry has is don't spend the luxury tax. If I'm not mistaken, about half the teams in the league didn't spend into the luxury tax last season. We got to stop blaming Jerry. And I think that's a bailout of AK. Jerry turns over the day-to-day operations of the person who's the head of basketball operations. Jerry, I can tell you right now, Jerry didn't know who the fuck Noah Essengay was. He might have not known who Modest Buzelis was. When you miss on draft picks, that's not ownership. Where the Bulls are right now isn't because of ownership making a single decision. It's because of AK being a dumbass. Now, we have seen signs of him coming out of that, and that's really good, but we got to stop blaming ownership. It's like, don't get me wrong, there are some absolute things that we need to blame ownership for, but the state of the Bulls right now is more on AK and Eversley than what it's on Jerry Reinsdorf. Jerry, for that much, isn't even running the chairman anymore. That's Michael Reinsdorf doing more of that than Jerry. So just think about that. I heard the Pistons may make a tough decision in between trading Jalen Duren or Jaden Ivey sometimes in the near future due to the cap space. Well, yeah, so the Pistons, much like the Bulls, do not spend into the luxury tax. And while I think they have a projected $50 million underneath the luxury tax, you can still got to look at, you got to field a team, you got a draft pick, you got to sign one of Jaden Ivey or Jalen Duren. Neither one of them got their rookie scale extension, so they're both going to restricted free agency next year, which can get expensive. So we'll see what they do. We shall see what the Pistons do. But I like Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren. Now, Jaden Ivey and his knee injuries and stuff like that keep recurring there is a concern. But, if the Bulls can give a big offer sheet to Jalen Duren, I'm not mad at that at all. That's just my personal opinion. Modest better come out strong. My sanity relies on it. That's your sanity should not be tied into a sports team, bro. It should not. Haize, is the whole Pistons team fit or healthy? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? What are you trying to ask, bro? You trying to date one of them? You want me to hook you up? I mean, I got some connections in Detroit. You want me to hook something up? Who you trying to date? You look like you would want to date Jalen Duren. That's what I see, Julius. Let me stop messing with Julius. I'm just messing with Julius, y'all. The Detroit Pistons are going to be a very good team. Too bad they're going to start the season 0-1. Feel good to have Chicago Bulls basketball back. Hey, listen, from your mouth to God's ears, bro. From your mouth to God's ears. Let's hope that that's going to be the case. Detroit been the 5th best in points in the paint last season. Bulls allowed the most points in the paint, improved to 18th when the Collins arrived. Yeah, you're not wrong there. What's going on, Auntie Goon in the building? What's going on, Auntie? Glad to have you in here. Deanna's in here as well. What's going on, y'all? Wayne's in here. Look after your voice, Haize. We need it work. Oh, I'm good. I'm back good. Jack in the game. What made you pick that username? I just really want to know, of all the usernames that you could have picked in all of niggadom, why did you choose that name? Jack in the game. Jack in the game. I'm cautiously optimistic about the season for us. I feel you, bro. I feel you. What's good, Haize? We back, baby. It's here. It will be hit different when the classic theme songs are back on a couple times per week. Listen, I'm just happy the Bulls basketball is back. I'm happy that we have a team that we can look at and be semi-excited for sure. And we'll see what happens. Hey, that's exactly what I had to tell my family members who are Chicago Bulls fans. You can't blame the owners because they don't deal with the day-to-day operations. They don't. And I mean, I'm not expecting every fan to know that. Like, fans ain't got time. So it's not me trying to crap on anybody with that. But, like, yeah. Hope Jalen has a good game with Z-Easy out. Z-E? Does somebody call him that? Like, that's a weird name. I got to stop trying to come up with nicknames based off other people's names. Haha, I mean healthy. I do. Is Detroit somebody out for Detroit? Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me check that for you. Give me 1 second. The one thing about the new setup that I have when I stream is I have a 2-computer stream setup. So like I got 2 keyboards in front of me, and sometimes I type in the wrong one and start shutting shit down with some short keys. All right, let's see injuries. So Karis LeVert is listed as day-to-day. Of course, Jaden Ivey is out with the knee injury. And Marcus Sasser is listed as day-to-day. I'm not really too worried about Sasser. But Karis LeVert is listed as day-to-day, but I do think he's playing today. Yeah, he participated in shoot-around today, so I do think he's playing. What it do? Hoping Vooch ain't going to stick out as an old man at the Y. Listen, I talked about that today on the daily episode. Nikola Vucevic, like I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because he's a vet, and I know that a lot of vets don't take preseason. I mean, he's in year 15, 16, and I know a lot of vets don't take preseason seriously. So I'm hoping that that's just the case for Vooch. It's just that he didn't take preseason seriously. He's going to be fine when it's all said and done. That's what I'm hoping, but I'm not going to act like there can't be a case that it's some other shit going on. So. We'll see because you need Vooch. Vooch is already not giving you shit defensively. You need him to be locked in offensively. You need that. Thanks for the non-sensationalized coverage of the team. Oh, that's what we do here, bro. Like, I'm just here to have honest basketball conversations. I ain't got time for the sensationalism, none of that shit. We just here to talk Bulls, man. We will be very fun to watch. I can't wait for more Haize roast sessions. F's on this page. I'm not roasting nobody. I'm not roasting anybody. Unless you need to get roasted, right? And then it's different. Instead of back in the game, I ran out of ideas. Hey, ChatGPT hooked me up. That's Jack in the game is crazy, bro. That's wild. ChatGPT caught you slipping, man. No, I feel it, though, bro. I'm just messing with you, brother. We got Archangel in the building. Says, hey, Haize. Hello, everybody. What's going on, Ark? Glad to have you back in the building. Not sure if it's C-Dub that joins you during the Bears live calls, but he low-key calls games really good. I don't know if he has the time to do the calls for Bulls. Where have you been, Vikram? C-Dub's been calling Bulls games for 2 years. So, yeah, C-Dub. I mean, we did it all preseason. You were in here in some of the streams. What are you talking about? C-Dub will be live with us during the game today. Vikram be getting high. Like, listen, y'all know the young Vikram's young. You know them young people, they be getting high. Like, I'm talking about like fit high. Like Vikram was in there chiefing, bro. He was in there chiefing. Hey, Haize, it was only game 1, but I remember when some Bulls fans kept advocating for the Bulls to sign DeAndre Ayton and thought a different team like the Lakers would fix him. He was ass yesterday. I mean, listen, here's the thing with Ayton. There are going to be times where Ayton puts up really good numbers. Like I think his first preseason game with the Lakers, he put up like 16 and 10 or something like that. But then when you go and watch the game, which, by the way, all I can say is this. For those that have been watching the daily episodes, I appreciate everybody who watches these live streams. But for the people that only watch live streams and don't watch the daily episodes, please start watching the daily episodes. I have upped the production quality. We do highlights. We got graphic overlays. People in the chat, please, for those that watch the daily episodes, tell everybody in here how have you guys felt about watching the daily episodes and if I've taken it a new step. But we got something new that's coming. And I can't wait to start. We're going to use it tomorrow on the daily episode. So tomorrow morning, because I got some new shit. And everything that y'all see on the daily episodes, I build. I sit there in After Effects. I sit there in Premiere Pro. I be animating shit. Keep in mind, I am self-taught with all this. We are taking the show to another level. You know what pissed me off? And I'm going to be 100% real about this. It pissed me off when Doug Tonis, and I'm not pissed at Doug Tonis. Doug Tonis is a legend. But it pissed me off when Doug Tonis sat there and tweeted out that CHGO is the best Daily Bulls podcast and then nobody's on their level production-wise. Motherfucker, they got a whole production team. I'm one Negro. Don't you say it, Vikram. I am one Negro in the studio that they built in their basement doing all the shit, all the graphics, all the thumbnails, all the overlays. That's me. I do that. That pissed me off. So we coming for the crown now. Since people wanted to underrate what we were doing already, we coming for the crown, right? So I'm laying out a challenge, a friendly challenge. This isn't me calling anybody out. A friendly challenge. I'm up to the Windy City Breeze, to Just Another Year Chicago, to local Bulls fan, to Neil over at C-Red UK, Troy over at Whole Lotta Bull. I'm issuing a challenge this season. If you can outdo me production-wise, I'll give you $500. That's what we doing. Y'all recognize who the number one in the game is, man. I've been humble for too long. And like I said, it's respect with all those guys. C-Red Fred, Matt Peck, Big Dave, y'all know I love those guys. I've been listening to those guys literally since I was a teenager. So no knock to them as people. I love those guys. But this podcast shit, this is me. I am the Ace Boone Coon in podcasting. I am the Elohim of podcasting for the Chicago Bulls. That's it. It's no doubt about it. Ain't no big three. It's just big me. I need everybody to realize that this season. So because I got to be on my Kendrick Lamar shit, I'm going to be on my Kendrick Lamar shit. All right? That's all I got to say. I'm going to leave it at that. Auntie Goon says some Bulls fans and our idiots let Bulls start with them tonight. Then we can discuss the Bulls got to stop downing us for real. Bulls be cool. Y'all got to stop this negativity BS. Who's being negative? I must have missed something. I literally must have missed something. Didn't Vooch do really well in Eurobasket this summer? He did excellent, for sure. Lester says, this is always like a holiday, first Bulls game of the season. Looking forward to watching the new age baby Bulls team play and grow. Absolutely. Jeremy Moss says, I need Okoro to practice more on his three-point shots and jump shots. He's good defense, need more offense with Kobe out and Collins out. Yeah, I mean, listen, you're not wrong, Jeremy. And I want to be clear in this. You're not wrong at all. The thing with Okoro is that Okoro is a specialist. And the only thing that I want Okoro to do is hit the open shots. When he misses wide open shots, I got a problem with that, right? But he's not out there for a lot of offense. Now, I will say this, is that you need to be able to hit open shots to keep defenses honest. And that's going to be Okoro's only job, is that he has to be able to hit open shots, because if you can't even hit the wide open shots, the defense doesn't have to worry about you. You're playing 4-on-5 defensively. So I agree with you. He needs to hit open, but I don't need a lot of offense from Okoro. I just don't. But I need him to be able to hit the open shots. That's what I need him to do. Your channel has gotten so much bigger and better in very short order. Congrats, man. If the Bulls win it only draw you more traffic. So here's hoping some more toast at the end of games. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. Listen, the thing is, I do this because I love it. I love the Chicago Bulls. I'd be talking about the Chicago Bulls every single day if I wasn't doing this show. Every day. I'd be talking about it every single day. So that's why I started the show. I didn't start talking to Bulls every day because I started a podcast. I started a podcast because I talk to the Chicago Bulls every day. So I might as well put it out there for people to listen to, right? But I have done this now. Today actually makes 1,600 straight days of me dropping content. 1,600 straight days, right? And I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't have a genuine love for this team. And that's really all this is rooted in. It's a love for the team. That's all it's about. I love this team. That's it. Are you also doing watch parties on playback? Yes, we will be live on playback during the game. I feel like I missed a super chat. Hold on. Did the super chat not come over to the streaming software? Davin and Hi Buddy. So Hi Buddy, I don't think they put the super chats over here in my streaming software. It says, hey, you ever watch Modest and Io do the 2K streams? Yes, I actually have, and IO and Modest are real fun. In that, oh, it is right here. My bad. That's right. Hey, you ever watch Modest and IO do the 2K streams? Yes, I do watch them a couple of times. Now I don't. So the whole thing of watching people play video games, that's me being old, right? I know that's a thing. I don't understand the point. It's like when kids watch other kids on YouTube play with toys. Do you want the toy? No, you just want to watch somebody else play with it. I don't really watch other people play basketball games. Get in the booth. That's my thing. Get in the booth. So yeah. Daily episodes fire. Appreciate that. SG says Haize dailies are fire. The daily episode is something I look forward to every morning, to be honest. I appreciate that. Let's effing go, Bulls Nation. First game of the season. Going to see masterclass from Buzillas and a great game from Giddy. Let's effing go. I'm hyped, Bulls Nation. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Will live streams be a mainstay for you on CBC, or were you just doing Bulls live streams to test out the new software? Vern, you've been here all 4 years I've been here. When have I not done live streams? Did you just wake up from a nap? Do you need some milk? Will the live stream stay apart? I've been doing live streams for games for 4 years. What are we talking about, Vernie? What? Bro, I don't know if you took a nap or you need a nap. I have no idea. Haize, the best Bulls channel, bro. Don't even trip. Bulls fucking nation, fellas. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. We take it personal in the Central fam. You already listen. This is what we do. This is what we do. I'm coming for everything that I deserve, and not even because it's just like I feel entitled to it. It's because I'm putting in the work. Right, 1,600 straight days. Some of y'all ain't even brushed y'all teeth for 1,600 straight days. Just think about that. Think about that. Hire someone? No, I'm not hiring anybody. This is me. Here's the thing. Honestly, all jokes aside, right? We were having fun. All jokes aside, I'm way too anal creatively to let anybody else do anything for me. I don't care how big the channel can get, right? This channel could have 100,000 subscribers. I would never pay an editor. I'd never hire anybody to make graphics for me, because that people hate editing. That's part of the process for me that I love the most. Like, I love sitting, like, for those that saw the graphic today, I made a new graphic where you saw the lineups. It was 5 versus 5. The starting lineups of the teams, the projected starting lineups. I spent maybe 30 minutes just animating that graphic, like learning how to animate it. But I love that part of it. I legitimately love doing that part of the process. So I don't think I could ever hire anybody else to do it. CHGO is low key. Listen, one thing about me, I will never say anything bad about Matt Peck, Big Dave, Will Gottlieb, C. Red Fred. Never say anything bad about those guys. Those are my guys. And not everybody. People think I suck, right? Not every podcast is everybody's cup of tea, and that's perfectly fine, right? There are going to be some podcasts that maybe because you lean more to their sensibilities, maybe you feel like you like the way they communicate better, maybe you feel like they have more knowledge of the game. There's a space for all of that in podcasting, right? There's space for the highly analytical people. There's space for the people who are just fans and just want to talk about the team that don't know a box plus one to save their life. They just want to talk about the team, right? And there's space for all of that in this creative space. So find the people the podcasts that speak to you, and then chill with them. That's all I can say. CEO Drip throwing down the gauntlet. Hey, listen, I just, every once in a while, you know what it is? Like I said, I'm on my Kendrick shit. You remember when Control dropped? I just wanted the competitive nature back in podcasting. Like, that's it. I ain't got real beef with nobody. The only Bulls podcaster that I really didn't care for was Mark K. And that's just personal things, just as a person. But even then, I would acknowledge that he's still a really good podcaster. Like, just because I don't care for him doesn't mean that I'm going to act like he's terrible. So there's no beef. Please don't nobody start those narratives. There's not a single beef. This is all about competitive, having fun. Because I do think you can have some fun. Me and Pat me and Pat are probably the closest two Bulls podcasters you'll ever find. But if you think me and Pat don't be competitive, hell, me and Pat do a Bulls show together. If you think we don't be competitive with one another, you just don't understand what brotherhood is. Like, me and Pat are definitely competitive with one another. And that's my brother. Pat's one of the few people in life. If Pat were to call me right now and say, Haize, I need you in Chicago tomorrow, I'm there. If he says, hey, I need you to meet me wherever, I'm there. No questions asked, right? And same, Pat's driven 2 hours to just come kick it with me for a couple of hours, right? Like, that's my brother. But you can still compete with your family. And so that's all I'm saying. You got him, bro. I watch you every day. Don't forget the C-Dub and Bobby. Listen, C-Dub, definitely C. But that, like, C-Dub and Bobby are, the fact that they're not bigger than what they are, I will never understand that for my life. Like, and that's not just because I do a show with them. I will never understand that for my life. Bobby and C-Dub are way too good at what they do and way too entertaining at what they do. Not to say that they're small. Like, they've put in work. They've grinded for these years. But Bobby and C-Dub are stars. And when I tell you Bobby is a star, listen to what I say. That man he's so smart and articulate and the thing that I've loved about getting to see Bobby and work with Bobby day in and day out is getting to see his growth as a podcaster, right? And his confidence grow. Bobby's amazing, man. Y'all go show Bobby C-Dub some love for sure. D-Dub says, hey, it's great to see you on our opening night. Quick question. With Kobe likely out for a few more weeks, do you think Modest will be our focus on offense? That's what it looked like in preseason. I actually talked about that a little bit today, Dub. And that's a great question, by the way. And I do think that that Modest, like, he may be the number one scoring option. Now, I do think the ball's still going to be in Josh Giddey's hands more than not, but we know that Josh Giddey is also a facilitator that can score. Like, I think we're going to see some big scoring games from Josh Giddey too, but I think that if Modest and Io and stuff, like, their job is to make Josh Giddey's scoring more complementary to his facilitating. So I think in a way you could be right. I do think coming into the season with the injury that Modest may technically be the number one option. I definitely think that. On the real, though, over under 2/4 for Dalen to fight Beef Stew. Hey, listen, are they still beefing? Nah, you ain't missed none, nephew. I watch your podcast every day. It's just motherfuckers always got something to say about our Bulls team, nephew. That's why I say some Bulls fans are. Listen, I feel you, auntie. Like, it's some Bulls fans that I don't even interact with no more. Like, it's just real talk. And I've had to learn. And in my growth as a person, like, some people, you just don't have to entertain everybody. Some people are they're going to be stuck on stupid no matter what you say. So why let it frustrate you, right? Why even interact with them? Amazing to see the growth lately, bro. 25K and going strong. I appreciate that, Jack, in the game. I appreciate you, brother. Are you doing Vegemite if Giddey gets – yes, the Vegemite challenge is here to stay. As long as Josh Giddey is a Chicago Bull, the Vegemite challenge will be here. So, and that's not a challenge. It's more of a celebration thing that we do here. But, yeah, we'll definitely do that. Timbo says, yo, Haize, I've been watching you for about a year now and wanted to say you're doing great, bro. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Nephew said, Auntie says, nephew, I stay on Io podcast. You know, Io, my motherfucking son. Io ain't finna play this season. Hey, listen, Io seems like he's coming for everybody that I had seen so much Io DeSumo doubt this offseason. And it really caught me off guard because I'm like, it's that many people that really just don't see it for Io, but that's cool. That's cool. Because Io does seem like he's locked in, he's ready, and he's going to be bringing it all, man. I'm saying you only did pregame, postgame, and halftime hangouts, dog. Well, yeah. So you're asking. So not the lives. See, this is why words mean things. So you mean the watch parties? I won't say that we're gonna do a watch party for every game. Like, for example, if the Bulls take on the Washington Wizards on a random Thursday, and the Wizards are 0-22, I may not do a live call for that game. I may do a pregame, a halftime hangout, and postgame show. So I say out of 82 games, you're probably going to get, I can say you could probably bet on at least 60 watch parties for me this season. I'd say probably 60. There are going to be some games where I'm just like, listen, I'm going to watch the game. I'm still going to be your postgame show, but I may want to bathe my dog while watching the game, right? Like, I may want to do some stuff like that. So, you know, it is what it is, man. Who's the core of the Bulls team in your opinion? Great question. Great question. Carlos, I would say the core Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Modest Buzelis are definitely the core, I think. And Io is in there too. I think like those are right now your nucleus with Noah. You got to say Noah because he was just their draft pick. He has to prove how good he's going to be, but I probably say that. Not to say that that makes everybody necessarily expendable, but I think like that's what you're looking at as far as building around skill sets, those type of things, roles. I think that you're probably looking at those guys being your nucleus, I would say. Anyone heard anything about Josh Primo? He was a high pick and lots of potential. I mean, he was on we signed him to the Windy City Bulls last year. I don't think he's on the Windy City Bulls this year. I don't think he is. Haize is anally creative. That's a choice of words there, Archangel, that I'm not comfortable with. That made me very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. I'm not anally creative at all. Like not even a little bit. No. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Well, it's been 4 years. Now that I think about it, that's the very first time that I started watching you. I was with my late uncle, and he tripped out when he heard you say my name. That's crazy. The 4-year anniversary was this past August. Because I started the show in August, the summer that we signed DeMar and Lonzo and all those guys. So yeah, this is year number 4. Year 1, Boozy Vert. Year 2, Kid Buzelis, Majin Buzelis. No, come on. Those terrible nicknames, bro. Terrible nicknames. Haize, you always do a great job. You are my go-to for Bulls content. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Already, Jerome, you already know. You and Pat definitely locked in. Oh, listen, Pat is my brother, bro. Like, all jokes aside, Pat, that's my brother, man. If y'all heard the way we talk to each other, though, you would like. If I call Pat, let's see. Hold on. I don't know if he's gonna answer. Hold on. Let's run a test real quick. Hold on. Give me 1 second. He may be watching the stream, so he may know I'm doing this. Give me 1 second.
What up, nigger baby?
See, y'all see. I literally was just talking about you on stream because they're like they can tell that me and Pat are locked in. I was like, if y'all heard how we talk to each other, you think we hate each other, and you literally pick up the phone saying "nigger baby." That's crazy. That's wild.
I'm glad I pulled back on the one I was gonna go with. I thought he'd triple before Bulls game.
Hilarious. All right, bro. I'll talk to you in a few, man. All right. See? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's wild. That is wild that Pat answered the phone like that. That is crazy, y'all. That's wild. 82-0 potential as of right now. Believe that. That's crazy. That is crazy. Skull says, I just subbed. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Do you think Buzelis should focus more on becoming a point forward, dominating pick and roll and creating opportunities for the team, or being an elite scorer and defender if you had to choose? I mean, you could do it all, right? Like being a point forward doesn't stop you from being an elite scorer, right? So I think right now Modest needs to continue just polishing out everything in his game. And so I would say this is the way that I view it. The first 3 years for Modest Buzelis should be trying to round out every part of his game. After year 3, that's where you figure out, okay, these are where my strengths are. This is where I can dominate at. And you always have those other things that you can rely on. So even if Modest becomes an elite scorer, but then let's say eventually Noah Essengate steps up, or we draft a player that turns into a really good scorer, and then in some instances you're seeing Modest, all right, bet I don't have to score as much this game. Let me do my point forward things. And I think that's really where it is right now. That's special about Modest is that he can do a little bit of everything. And so as it stands right now, I want him to keep developing that part of his every part of his game as it stands right now. You said it. I was just repeating you. Did I? That's not what I said. Did I say that? That's crazy. That's wild. Left my ass off. That's a wild intro, Pat. Listen, listen. I want to be clear. Pat isn't. I do it too. I just didn't do it then because I'm the one calling him on live stream. But like, yeah, I think me and Pat always greet each other with an insult when we get on the phone. So it is what it is. a sin gay, not asin gay. Like, see, it's a sin gay, like enunciation. Bro, hard stream is nuts. Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. That was a little wild there. But hey, it is what it is. I'm gonna follow the game on your podcast while playing Subway Surfers. Is that people still play Subway Surfers? That's crazy. That's wild. But all right, y'all, we're going to get ready to wrap it up, man. I gotta get ready to do the live call. I'm going to rest my voice a little bit, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are amazing. And listen, for those that are just tuning in here, man, we have fun on these live streams. Like I said, we're not stuffy. The live streams are a little bit less formal. The daily episodes are a lot more from a normal podcast standpoint, right? But the live streams we have fun with, man. But love you guys. Make sure you guys are following us at Bull Central Pod. You send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. Love you guys. Go Bulls. See you, Red. Let's get this dub. It's game day. See you guys in a little bit for the game, man. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.